Hello everyone, I'm Jay Coker, Chairman of the Board of Producers Rice Mill. If you remember, we talked about coming to you with a harvest report for the 2025 growing season. When we talked earlier this year, we referenced our wide planting window. It actually started about the third week of March, which is a little historically early. So that has transpired into a much earlier harvest. We actually received rice at Producers Rice Mill on July 31st this year. We went into that with quite a bit of deliveries in the early part of August, which was somewhat unusual for that early date. We're currently about 50% complete with harvest throughout the Mid-South. At Producers, our 11 green rice receiving facilities throughout Arkansas and Mississippi are currently receiving almost 1 million bushels of green rice from the farmer families every day. That translates into almost 25 million pounds of milled rice that will be processed and milled and bagged for shipment to our customers. Rice farmers' intentions as we approach the 2025 growing season were to plant larger acreages than what actually got planted. Due to seed supply issues, due to weather, and other various factors, those acres did not all get planted. With that became a much wider window of planting and harvest. We had historic rainfall, we had flooding, we had extreme weather conditions that impacted a lot of these acres. As we move into harvest, we're probably in the acreage that was planted earliest. We've got a large window of harvest that will stretch into October that will include the later planted acres. As we work our way into harvest, many of the first questions we get are, what are field yields and how's the quality? Currently, it seems as if both of those are within a 5-year average of our normal ranges. As we work our way into the later planted rice, we're optimistic that that continues. There's a reason why the Producers farmer members decided to continue planting rice, decided to go past some optimum planting dates. Rice is the best suited crop for those fields, those acres, those operations, and we're thankful to those members that continue to plant rice and continue to make those decisions. When we enter into harvest moisture seems to be one of the biggest topics the last few years, and its impact on our milling yields and our quality. So field draining is critical to be done at a time that allows the soil to dry, to hold up the heavy harvest equipment, but yet not where the rice will dry out past the point of its optimum harvest moisture. We tend to think that the harvest moistures around 18% provide the best milling yields. It's critical that as the rice stays in the field for longer periods of time, that we can quickly harvest it before it drops below these optimum levels. Many times we get the question, how do you know that rice is ready for harvest? First off, we typically use what's called a DD50 program that determines the heat units throughout the year and gives us a likely window of when harvest should start and we will be at that optimum moisture. We further enhance that decision by actually taking combine samples, where we'll take a sample with the combine, take that into a moisture machine and let it read the moisture to determine what that moisture is of that crop that day. That helps us determine if we need to be harvesting or if we need to allow it to continue to dry down. Timing is so critical with harvest. We don't want the rice to continue to sit in the field once it reaches harvest moisture. The longer it sits in the field, the natural drying occurs and it continues to get lower and lower in moisture. Every time it re-wets and dries, there's a chance that these grains will fissure and crack, which will result in lower milling yields and lower quality. That's the last thing we want to occur. Despite the challenges that the Producers Rice Mill farmer members experience each year, they continue to show their resilience. They continue to choose rice as their primary crop. Fortunately, we're about halfway through harvest and we hope that the pace continues. We ask that everyone have a safe harvest, timely harvest, recognize the dangers that are out there. We also want to thank our employees. The Producers Rice Mill employees are beyond the best in the world. They handle this crop, they dry it, they market it, they ship it, they bag it. They do things that you just cannot imagine. We're forever grateful for those people. Finally, we would like to thank the Producers Rice Mill customers, the confidence they have in the Producers Rice Mill family to meet their milled rice needs. We're grateful for that. and we appreciate the opportunity to do that for you. Thank you very much.